Welcome to Hollywood. Good afternoon and welcome.
We're in Murwillumbah at the Tweed Regional Gallery and Margaret Olley Art Centre for the big launch of the Margaret Olley Art Centre. We've got 800 guests arriving, and it's the first time that this centre is being revealed to our audiences. Our very special guest is the Governor General, so she's arriving in a couple of minutes, and we've got a huge entourage of wonderful artists, friends of Margaret Olley, people who have known her for a very long time.
She was just such a wonderfully generous person. She was completely frank in her views. She was funny. But not. She was judgmental, but not in a malicious way.
Fall in love with a lens, people say. Fall in love with a lens. That's enough. That's enough.
Well, it was really an idea put to me by Stephen Alton when the Lismore Gallery plan fell over. And it seemed a shame because Margaret was very supportive of that idea of a Margaret Olley gallery in this area, which she loved, of course, and where she was born and spent the early days. And when the Lismore Centre didn't go ahead, and it was suggested to me that perhaps the Murwillumbah Gallery, the Tweed Gallery, would be another possibility.
Launching today is the third and final stage of the Tweed Regional Gallery, so it was always envisaged as having 3 stages. So we were able to do the third stage with the great support, generous support of the Margaret Olley Trust.
This is you. Hey, who did that? You know, when you were after one more and we told you that they're all gone?
Yeah, but I didn't want it for us.
No, I know, that's why you got it. No, it's because of all your generosity.
Well, what a...
That's exactly why, because there's never been an expectation.
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Thank you very much. We'd started a gallery 20 years ago in Murwillumbah, and it turned out quite a successful little gallery, but it had to expand. So when they couldn't find a suitable block of land, I said, I think I've got a block that might be suitable. It was one of the early blocks of dairy farms, and there was a dear old dairy farmer's cottage on top of the hill here, rather run down, and it was on top of the hill with this beautiful view. It was beautiful, and I don't think the dairy farmers ever appreciated how beautiful it was, but I did, and I thought, now this is so spectacular, we'll have to do something well with it. But where so many people have been involved and helped us to achieve this great gallery and part of museum, I suppose, with the Margaret Olley section in it.
I always think of it as having the home studio recreation at its heart. So it's the recreation of what we call the Hat Factory and one of the rooms from the terrace. That's the yellow room, which people know through her work. So I think of those recreations as being at the heart of this centre, and then all around it are these dynamic elements, which is the exhibition area, the interactive, so at the moment that's a beautiful drawing program. It's actually a bank of iPads, so the iPads have they're touch screens that you can do a drawing program on. So she'd do little sketches, planning, preparation, on anything that would come to hand, so capstan cigarette packets, envelopes, pieces of paper. And then she would do what she called ghost drawings in chalk on masonite. And she called them ghost drawings because obviously then she worked over them in acrylics and oils, so then the chalk disappeared. So taking inspiration from that preparatory stage, that looking stage, that exploring stage, people can use the iPads to do little sketches of still lifes, upload them onto a website and retrieve them when they leave. And also the centre is complemented by the Nancy Fairfax Artist in Residence Studio. So that studio will host practising artists, and that I think is such an important element because it's not just about the legacy of her home studio, it's all of these other vital and dynamic elements that continue to recontextualise her work, but really continue to support practising artists, which she believed in so greatly.
Regional galleries are very important to centres. It used to be the School of Arts, but now all over the country, all over Australia, it's the regional art galleries. Been receiving all my life, and there's a circle in life, and a lot of people never get round to learning it. It's like receiving and giving is part of the circle. Oh my God, that's dangerous.
What was that?
A heel. Somebody nearly came a cropper.
Do you need an ashtray? Oh no, you got the... That's all right.
It'll find water sooner or later.
When I first spoke to her about Murwillumbah, and indeed even Lismore, about the idea of she thought it was a bit not the right thing. She said, why would you want to name anything after me? It was more about the support, her lending her name to a regional gallery that she was connected with, first Lismore and then Murwillumbah, and then and being in the region, she was very supportive of that. But it's not something that she conceived of having a monument to herself. That was the farthest thing from her mind.
She wanted to be remembered, and this is just perfect, just perfect. Don't you think so?
I think everybody wanted it to be remembered too, because everybody felt so special when they came into that place.
She painted everywhere, all over the place, the bedroom, the kitchen, the lounge, everywhere. The paintings were everywhere.
And it's been amazing to watch people who, spent decades visiting her at Duxford Street and seeing them in this space, encountering the recreation for the first time.
She didn't believe in tidying up. Things were left the way they were. She had dead flowers, and the dead flowers had to stay there, because she used to paint them. Well done.
I think it's beautifully done.
Very
I think
well
it's
done.
sort of, but as I said, I think it is a little bit too tidy. She used to have all her papers and letters and books and that she was reading always on the table. When I needed a bit of space to work in, she used to move and say, right, Tom, you've got this batch. So that was the...
And it's wonderful to see the house, or it looks almost like it should look. Just a bit tidier, not quite as messy.
For me, I'm really happy to see it recreated, for everyone else to just experience that artistic side of a life that is more than just the paintings. And
to remember how she lived and worked.
Yeah. So it's a really special day in that we're revealing these incredible private elements of her life, but in a very public forum, these spaces that inspired her art practice for so many years.
I think Margaret's greatest gift as a painter was to make the everyday look magical, and I think in the house that she created, which has been recreated here, she made the everyday look absolutely like a magical place, and her paintings do the same thing. You analyse the elements in it, a couple of flowers often dead, a few old pots, a bit of old cloth. Somehow the way she put it together and put it down, the perspective is often wrong, the planes are often wrong, but what is never wrong is the composition and the light and the tone and the feeling, and that's what people respond to, and that's what they really love about her work.
Compulsion. It's a passion. It's whatever. Gets me out of bed in the morning. Can't wait to get on with it. It's an adventure. It's hard work, and you live for that time when something works. It doesn't always work.
Doesn't always work.
No, I have a lot of unresolved paintings about. I'll get round to them.
It was an archaeological site, her house in Duxford Street, and it's been recreated here. It is perfect in every way, from the aroma in the room to the atmosphere to the light, let alone all the objects put back in place.
And I don't think one can find the equal to it anywhere else in Australia.